Okay, we are live, and I have my guest on the phone. It's none other than my artist of the month over at DirtyDiamondsRocks.com. It is Shaun C. Bryant. How you doing, Shaun?
I'm good, thank you. How is everybody?
We're hanging in there. Thank you so much for taking time out to do this. I know the hours are really, really odd for you, but you know what? You're a trooper, and you hang in there. You're always there.
I try my best. Can I just make a very special mention to a lovely lady who's tuned in tonight? A lovely lady called Karen.
Sure, go right
She's in,
ahead.
she's in the chat room as well. Basically, we hooked up because we both like a band called Cherry Suede, a Canadian band, and I went to see them last Friday and hooked up with her via Facebook and various other places. And, thanks, Karen, for tuning in. It's damn late, so really appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, I see her. She's sitting in there hanging out in the chat. Cool.
Yeah, well, I do it all the time, but I don't expect other people to.
Is so she's over there in the UK with you then, right? Or where?
Yeah. She's, I think she's Carlisle, up in what they call the Lake District in the UK.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So what have you been up to since we last talked? I mean, I know I see you a couple times a week, with the exception of this last week because you were on the road traveling for work and stuff. But music-wise and stuff, I mean, you've got your new single out, you've got your CD coming out this summer. What is going on?
I have been extremely busy. I was in the studio for a good 4.5 hours today, in fact. A new single called Running Out of Time is due, well, it's imminent, next week or so. So that's obviously you guys get it exclusively as usual. So that's a given really because you give me so much time. So I really appreciate that.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the new single. I was doing guide vocals and getting all the final bits of the backing track done today. So that's a goer, and it's sounding fantastic. Dave, my producer, has worked wonders on it over the last week or so. I walked into the studio and heard the backing track, the new one, for the first time today, and it was just like, yes, you have taken the sound out of my head, as you do, and he's got it spot on. It's sounding great, and really looking forward to the release of it. I've also been, while I've been away on business, working lots, been away sort of long distances rather than the regular short ones, other ends of the country kind of stuff. Been doing lots of writing, and when I've had the opportunity to have a guitar with me, been doing just little bits and pieces here and there. So there's another one, two, three, four, another 5 tracks on top of the new single that are sort of in progress, put it that way. So we should have an album's worth pretty much by late summer, and I'm hoping sort of late summer, early autumn, we'll have an album probably, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
Really looking forward to it.
Cool. Now, have you decided to kind of go in a different direction with this new album, or are you kind of sticking around the same thing that you did with the last one?
Well, the EP was very much sort of my heart on a sleeve kind of thing. Those tracks off the EP will be getting mixed and mastered and putting onto the album as well. So we're looking 12, 13, maybe 14 tracks on the album.
Oh,
And there's some light and shade, as my producer Dave put it today. Light and shade is a good description. There's some nice rocky stuff there. I mean, the new single that's due out is quite punchy. It's quite rocky, got a nice sort of backbeat going on. But there's a couple of other ones that are going to be very, put it this way, there's one that I want to stick a load of strings into because it's just got that kind of vibe about it. And I've also been playing around with a few new chords as well and came up with a really nice sound the other night. And there's a nice sort of summery kind of sounding one as well that we're going to be doing as well. I've got sort of a few chords knocking around for that, so I've got to put some lyrics to it, put a melody to it, and obviously crank it out. But yeah, there's lots of ideas bouncing around in this little head of mine, and they're all gradually coming out, getting written down, and then, I mean, I sit there. I'm renowned for having a pencil and a notebook handy wherever I go. I take a songbook and a pencil everywhere. mishmash going on at the moment, but it's all beginning to tie together. And that's the nice bit. I'm beginning to see sort of the light at the end of the tunnel now, thinking, wow, I've got enough songs here. We've just got to get them down, get them finished, and get them out. And the new single, I'm really, really pleased with the new single. There's a little bit of collaboration in there as well, with other guys as well. There might also be some other collaboration on some other tracks if I can get it up and running. So there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff in there, and some of the tracks are not as personal to me. They're more sort of out to the people, sort of saying, this one's for you kind of thing, rather than me saying, oh, I miss my woman, I'm not with you and I love you kind of stuff, which I do a lot of. You know that.
Yeah.
You know what my songs are like. So, but yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Cool. Now, a lot of people know who you are. You're pretty much, I guess this is the word for it, or maybe there's another word for it. You're a permanent fixture over there at Unleashed Radio. You're always at my show. You're at some of the other shows when you can make it. But for those who are not familiar with you, you want to let them know where they can find you at, where they can find your music and such.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as my lovely daughter always says, Dad, why is it when I put your name into Google, you come up on the first 3 pages?
Oh.
Best way to find me is to Google me, and it's Shaun C. Bryant, which is Shaun, and then it's the C, which is my middle initial, and then Bryant, Bryant. And if you put that into Facebook, you'll find me there. Put that into Twitter without any spaces, you'll find me there. I'm on YouTube as well. I've got 2 videos up on YouTube now. There's a video up there for Angel, and there's a video up there for 3 AM, the latest single. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm trying to sort of get myself onto every main social networking site that I can. I'm on MySpace and all those other ones too.
Yeah, I think that's really good that the bands nowadays are making it easy for people to find them. I mean, pretty much all people have to do is just Google the artist's name, and like you said, like I checked out one friend. He goes, "Oh yeah, check me out. Just Google my name and see what you come up with." I came up, at least with the browser I used, 5 pages. So,
yeah, I mean, I've got my business stuff as well because I run my own business, and that's all over everywhere as well. That has to be, that's the way I make money at the end of the day, is to get out there and get my name out there. So, but yeah, social networking has been amazing for music generally. I think there are some really cool sites. I mean, I'm on ReverbNation.com. That's the main site where you can hear my music. And that's simply ReverbNation.com and then /Shaun C. Bryant. And you can find me there as well. You can listen to all the singles there. You can listen to 3 AM. You can buy 3 AM on there. I've got merchandise on there. I mean, hey, if you want a Shaun C. Bryant hoodie, you can even get one of those on there too. It's all there.
Do you really? You have hoodies?
Yeah, I do hoodies. I do T-shirts. I do girly vesty things and mugs, and it's all there. It's just go to the Shaun C. Bryant store on my Reverb Nation page. There's loads of stuff in there. It's really, really easy to do because you just take a design and put it on all their standard stuff, and they just do a little sort of image of it, and you can click on it, and all the prices are there. It's real easy to do.
Cool, I'm going to have to get a hoodie. I love hoodies. That's all I ever wear. I don't wear a jacket, a sweater, or nothing. It's always a hoodie. I love those things.
Do you know what? I've never, ever owned a hoodie in my life. Isn't that strange?
Are you serious? Everybody wears a hoodie.
No, I've got an old black leather sort of biker style jacket, and I live in the thing. That tends to be my main sort of leather jacket, jeans, boots kind of thing. So
yeah, no,
that's me. Old rocker. Used to have long hair. Used to wear the old white high tops, the skin tight jeans, and the vesty thing, and the big hair. Used to do all that. So.
So who would you say have been your influences, or who has inspired you to do all this?
Well, for those that don't know, there's a number of you in the chat room that do already know. But yeah, my biggest influence has to be Bon Jovi. I've been listening to those guys pretty much from day one, and they've always, I don't know, if you'll pardon the pun, hit a chord with me, I guess. Just the way that, their longevity,
Hmm.
But also their music had a lovely way of just, getting into your psyche. There's certain songs that you'll always remember. It's like, for example, tracks that they do like Bad Medicine, Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive. I mean, Wanted Dead or Alive has to be in my top 10 songs ever. It's just an absolute anthem for everybody from my sort of era that listened to rock music. It's a great track. I mean, they've kicked out some other superb tracks as well. I mean, their new album, well, I say new, it's not that new anymore. Their latest album, um, which is The Circle, there's a couple of tracks on there that I absolutely adore. And what I love about those tracks is it's almost Bon Jovi historically saying, hey, look where we are now. What Beautiful is a wonderful song, and co-written by a lovely guy called Billy Falcon, who I am basically in contact with now. I talk to him on the internet once in a while. If you haven't listened to him before, Billy Falcon, Falcon, and also his daughter Rose Falcon. They are both fantastic singer-songwriters.
Oh yeah, I'll
And
have to check it out.
Billy has worked with the Jovi on so many tracks. It's unreal.
Wow. Now I know you said on this upcoming album you've collaborated with a few people and stuff, but is there anybody, I mean, whether it be independent or mainstream, is there anybody that you would like to do just a full-on duet with?
Wow, now you're talking. On the female side, there's way too many good-looking rock chicks out there that I'd quite happily duet with. Um, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big range, actually. There's a lot of people, both, like you say, independent and mainstream, that I'd like to work with, and some of them are from musical genres that you wouldn't expect. I mean, one that, funnily enough, Bon Jovi have worked with on their Lost Highway album is a lovely lady called Leanne Rimes. I think
Oh
she has
yeah.
got just the most wonderful voice. Got one of those lovely, country and western voices. And another one is, talking of country and western, is Jennifer Nichols from Sugarland.
Hmm.
Just love female country singers. They just have a fantastic twang to their voice. Now, I'm not saying I duet with Dolly Parton, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Before anybody even thinks that one.
Well, actually,
But yeah.
speaking of country, I'm sure you've heard of Lady Antebellum. There's
Oh, yeah.
one song
Yeah.
that they have that I absolutely love. When it comes to rock ballads, I'm a sucker for them. But that one song that they have, I think would be, if somebody redid it and just made it a little heavier, you know,
What,
like
Need You Now, the one that's
yeah,
really big.
yeah, made it more kind of like rockish. I mean, it's fine the way it is, but I think it would be great if somebody could take it and just redo it a little bit and just make it more
yeah.
heavier. I think that would be really cool. I mean, that is a good song. I like those guys.
It is a good song. It's a very, very well-written song. It's very good. On the independent side, well, there's quite a few guys that you already know. In fact, one of them's in the chat room. Haunting Heather. Hey, Shaun, how you doing? Good to see you there. But yeah, there's Haunting Heather, Spaceship Days. They're a great bunch of guys.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Would love to work with either of those two bands. The two bands that I saw last Friday. I saw Cherry Suede, who are a Canadian band. Randy Scott and Randy Young, superb couple of guys. They did an acoustic set in London on Friday, and absolutely superb. And I also met another band, playback gig with them, called the Mars Patrol, who are from Edinburgh in Scotland. And Davina Devine, the lead singer, what a voice. Just unbelievable. You've got this tiny little Scottish lady who's about, 4'11".
Oh, wow.
She's tinier than me, and I'm only little. I mean, crikey, I'm only 5'6" on a good day.
Oh, hey, I thought I was tiny. Oh.
She's really giddy, but what a voice. Blew me away last Friday. She was fantastic. Absolutely incredible.
Wow. Now,
But yeah, those guys are good. But there's loads of independent guys out there that, that just don't get heard. And it's a real shame. I mean, going back to my little rant about Justin Bieber, or Bieber Twat, as a number of my musical friends call him, it's just guys like that. I'll be blunt, I don't often swear, but it just pisses me off that guy is earning God knows how many millions a year for kicking out the dross that he
yeah.
actually. It's not even music; it's just dross.